And it's only 80%. There's no... this could miss. It's not likely, but it's possible. It did! That's so big for us. Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. For the next couple of episodes I'm going to be trying the same list a few times because all I want to do is try and work on my ranked games. So I want to try and get a bit of a feeling of what the ranked meta looks like, get an idea of sort of what I'm going to be facing and what works well into it. If we look at the leaderboard at the moment, I'm currently ranked 37, so I'm quite happy with that. We've got quite a lot of good players up here. And we can see in the ranks as well, we've got people making it all up to whatever on earth that rank is. I'm assuming these look like gold. So we've got a little way to go yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play initially my Extilior attrition list. So at the moment the list consists of Stitchy, Deadeye, Detonia, Aria, Furia, Antios, Hit and Run, Peacemaker Balam, Crosshair and Zapper and Enki. The aim of this list is basically to use Extilior's speed to try and get into positions where we can take out enemy crew early on. Usually go for a point advantage, but if we need to, this list does turn quite well into captain damage. So it's a bit of an all-rounder list, but it's very much a sort of, get the early advantage and try and snowball it a little bit from there. It's not hugely Cinder intensive, which is nice. So obviously Stitchy, Deadeye, Detonia, Aria all use Cinder, as obviously Antios, Balam and Zapper and Enki, but we're not going to be using too many of them at each turn. So you don't need to have a million units on the battlefield. We'll hopefully be able to work out well. And honestly, this has just been really successful for me. There might be a few things I change in the future, but this is what I'm comfortable with for now, and so I figured let's just jump into a game and give it a go. So if you're enjoying the content, please remember to hit the subscribe button most of all. Really trying to push for 500 subscribers. We're actually getting very, very close to 1 year since my first Moonbreaker video, so hopefully on, I think this Saturday, I'll be able to have a nice fun attempt at streaming as well, and if you've got any ideas, things you want to see, please let me know. But for now, we'll jump into the game. We're against Antlion Man. Here we go. So someone who's nearly exactly the same level as us. 20 points for victory, 7 for defeat, and it's an Extilior Mirror match. So let's see what we can do here. It's always interesting when we're coming at someone who's a similar sort of level, because sometimes it means that they've just been playing loads recently and they've got loads of practice. Other times it means they've just been playing for a while and they might be a bit out of touch, because for a while I felt out of touch with this as well. So let's see what we do. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to deploy over here, but we might be able to deploy onto the middle and force them to go for that. But if we do, we're not going to be able to get a good attack through. So this feels like it should probably be a Deadeye or something like that, or a Sevria. Yeah, I don't think Sevria is the right choice here, but it is Sevria. Okay, so they're just going to protect themselves, I assume. Maybe double up on protection? Yep, so double up on protection on Sevria. So to me, that doesn't really say there's anything much to be done here other than to just deploy this side. So what we can do is we can go 2-drop into 4-drop, and I actually think that might be right here, because we could Detonia and get a shot over there, but then next turn we're back to 3-drop again. I actually do think I like just Deadeye and protect it here. So we obviously know that we're not going to be able to stop this anything we can hit though. We're not going to be able to stop them contesting here, but the plan is that next turn we'll be able to play things that hopefully do contest a bit more, so Aria, Furia, that sort of thing. Now they've got 3, so what can they play here? Okay, so they can come aggressively towards us. So there's a good chance we might want to move down here to take this point away from them, which is pretty reasonable of an outcome. If they move here with Sevria, it might just be the case that we actually go and use Extilior first of all. So we've got a couple of options. I feel like they're going to play another unit and then use Sevria to protect that. This looks like a really good start from our opponent. I just want to point that out right now, because I don't see a really solid solution for us here. So what's this? This is Fixer. Okay. So this could be a miss. It is a hit. That's fine. So this incentivizes us to move in this direction. They're going to shield themselves up a bit there. There's no way we can miss with Sevria. Sorry, miss here anyway. Can we move somewhere? So we are actually just out of base contact there. So we can move here still. So where does Extilior get to? So if it only gets that way, there, this way. I think we're going over here. So we know this is putting it at risk. In fact, I actually did this in the wrong order, so now we have to be super careful not to spin in the wrong place. There we go. So we'll take this shot, which is fine. We'll get the spin just because we can do. We're now contesting both points. Extilior can't get too near this. I'll be able to get near enough. And then what I think we might even want to do is just... Could we aria over here fairly safely? If there's somewhere we could aria on the point and get a good line down there, I think we should do. But actually I think for now, it's probably just Detonia and activate Detonia over the wall. And just try and push a bit of damage through here. We know we're going to probably lose Deadeye here anyway, so putting a bit of pressure on is good. We're going to be up to hit and run or Antios next turn, so we can, you know, make some plays here. I'm not overly convinced we played this right, but I think this is an interesting situation. Okay, so Crankbait. Is Crankbait just going to try and isolate Deadeye and go for it that way? Oh, they're going for Detonia. Okay, yeah, that works. They can kill Detonia. So that's a lot of resources to do so, though. Oh, and they're giving us the point until they move up here. So that's 1 point for us, but then they're basically giving quite a lot up over here in terms of sort of positioning and things, especially if we can fit through the gap if they don't move Fixer into the right spot. So this is all good. They've got nothing else to deploy though. Yeah, infuse. This is perfectly fine by us. Yeah, so we can move over here and start competing that way with Fixer. And we are the only one on the point actually, so that was a bit of a misplay from our opponent there.
No one is in the lead.
So this is just going to come down here and take a shot. There's no reason not to, because this is the right choice in terms of taking things out here. We're going to kill Saria. And then what do we want to do? Honestly, at this point it could be Aria, but I still think we're slightly out of where we want to be doing that. So let's just get the kill here. I'm going to Shield of Hope here so that Fixer can't kill it on their own. And then to be honest, it might even just be... I mean, could hit and run be useful here, or do we want to save it? Aria's decent, Furia's decent. I think it's hit and run. And I actually think we just sit here to stop them getting easier deployments. I don't think we actually want to move any further. We want Extilior to be the body blocking one and make it harder for them to deploy onto that. So I'm not confident here. I don't think they can pull Deadeye, so Deadeye's going to be hard for them to kill immediately. They might be able to just stick some damage onto our captain, which is fine. But if they don't deploy onto us, then that's an issue for them. If we can deploy nicely with with Aria, then we might be able to just deal with Crankbait, and that would be nice to do as well. So we're absolutely looking for points here. Okay, so that does just get them in range, I believe. Yep. So that shield's saving us so far. They should be able to move around here with Fixer and get that, but that's, again, it's a 1-for-1 trade. We're okay with that at this point in time. And it's only 80%. There's no, you know, this could miss. It's not likely, but it's possible. It did! That's so big for us. That could actually be the game in itself, because we're now going to pick up a point here. They're going to have to use a resource to kill this that they otherwise wouldn't have, which is really nice for us. So the question is, can we deploy anything over here? We've got Antios to go for a big... Okay, yeah, so Detonia's going to have to use there. That's fine. They've got another deployment going. Snareling. Okay, Snareling's a problem. That's quite good. I'm happy to see something that we don't necessarily just have an answer to. So, now where do we go? So we want range. So I mean, it could just be Furia, Aria, something like that. Can we get Aria into a position up here where she has line of sight down this way on the objective? So we can get her to a 1% line of sight there, which I actually think might be enough. So I think here we need to stillness and just go for it. Why can I not click on it? Come on, give me the click. So this is, it's not guaranteed by any means, but it's decent. Oh, okay, so we both missed a big hit there. Honestly, at this point in time, I think we just try and move to the spot where we can hold both these objectives. I think there is just about one. And make sure we can test both. And to be honest, we're okay with Snareling dealing with that. Arya falling apart is a problem here, because that's now swinging things in their favour. So we both missed a likely hit, which actually changes the game quite a lot. This is where I'm missing having things like some sort of extra AoE here. So like a Florio would be really nice here. Okay, so they're just going to send their captain to try and deal with Arya as soon as possible and leave this situation for us. But that does mean that we're going to be able to start stunning over here, and we're going to score some points hopefully. So they're going to clear that up. That's absolutely fine. They've cleared up Arya, but until they make moves here, we're actually going to do okay in terms of points. So they can move in, but that's a risk for them. Yep, this is all fine. And if they don't move up here, we're in a great spot. So funny enough, crankbait is the biggest problem here. But we can't deal with Snareling, but we can deal with both of these constantly and defend here. So if we're getting 7 next turn, we want 9, so maybe it's not that we do anything too drastic here. Like this could just be a Furia, or it could be... I think we need to Peacemaker Balam. I think Balam is the pick here, and we just play that as safe as we possibly can. Plop it here. We can't get these two, so we just Spore Puff both of those. Shield of Hope here. And to be honest, I think this is what we want to do. So our opponent gets a point, and then we're setting ourselves up for hopefully a chance next turn. Because we've got... Okay, so they've got Crash. That's pretty bad news for us. I didn't think they'd be able to get a deployment in there, I'll be completely honest. I definitely messed that one up. So this is where we now need Zapper and Enki. Crash doesn't have charge, does it? No. So we can at least move Crosshair in to get a bit of inconvenience. I think we've lost this. I think we're very much out of the realms of winning here. Because our opponent's taking all the objectives. We can't really compete with much, and we're not going to have enough to do anything big next turn. We can use one ability basically. So we can contest one of these like this. And then we can shoot something. I mean, Crosshair could go and try and get this. If we can touch this point and still see, then that would be perfect. Because I actually think our game plan needs to be to shoot this down, try and protect it a bit, and just pass the turn. Because they get a point, they can't win this turn, and if they leave us in a spot where we can just get a huge Zapper and Enki out, then this could be the win for us. Because we could potentially, if there's a world in which we can get a gap... Oh no, we're not going to have enough Cinder. Cinder's a thing. That's not how this works. Oh, I think we've lost this. Well done to our opponent. They played really, really nicely. Absolutely happy to lose to a game where our opponent plays really well. So we can obviously kill this if we need to, but it's how we stop the opponent from getting as many points. Snareling only snares crew now. So the question is, can we get 2 crew killed here, or can we get something up here? A Florio here would be fantastic, because if we could just Florio here and bombard sort of this direction, we'd be in a great spot. Ah, see, they played really well here. They've stopped us even contesting the control zones as well. So I don't think there's much we can even do. We need to deploy multiple crew and find a way to not lose here.
Your opponent has a 3-point lead.
Yeah, our opponent's doing really well here. I don't think we can stop this, because they're going to gain 2 next turn. Where can we deploy now? Okay, so we can potentially get in to deploy onto that if we are lucky. Yeah, so we can get a deployment here, but then if they can kill that crew, they just win anyway. I don't think we've got anything here. I think we just have to... I mean, I don't think we've got anything at all, honestly. Because Stitchy can just pop in here, but then Stitchy just dies. The only thing we could potentially do is play Zappa and Enki, but I don't think we can get onto that point. I think... In fact, no, we can, because we can move up. So there we go. So Zappa and Enki moves up to here. I believe it should be the play. This is the only thing we can do to keep us alive. We could Sword of Justice or we can Shield of Hope. I think we have to Sword here. And there's nothing else to really... Oh, we should have done that the other way around. We just lost a life for no reason. Oh yeah, no, they had to... Because I had to contest those. Yeah. What did... No, I couldn't do anything. That was really good by our opponent. It didn't feel like we were miles behind, and then suddenly it just felt like there wasn't any way of getting through. That Snareling was so impactful. That was really, really good. That Snareling dealing with hit and run. So that made me realise that I feel like I'm missing cheap range damage. And just sort of something here and there. So I'm just going to skip through the lists and have a quick look at mine again. So Antios would have been good, but I think Antios might need to become a ranged unit of some sort. Because he's really good for that one-off, and Stitchy can be really good in some situations. So I'm going to have a little look at tweaking the list before we finish the video. Peacemaker Balam. Roster Crest is always nice, we love Balam. But I think Antios could be something else. So what do we want him to be? The attrition list here. Again, so I didn't think we were that Cinder intensive, but we kept finding ourselves slightly short as well. So I think that's one of the options to remove. And we probably want range, so for 3 drops we've got like Maximus, Motivates her out. I mean, Maximus is good for mission play actually. I really do enjoy Maximus. It's 2 damage, it's very useful. Like Nuisance can be nice as well, but Maximus can take you 2 objectives in a turn and doesn't require any investment whatsoever. Let's try Maximus out. That's going to be our next video. Is we're going to be using the same list, but Maximus feels like he fits in there. I was thinking before we were missing an extra 3 drop, so this could be a really nice way of fixing it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I actually feel like I've learned quite a bit from this, because seeing my opponent deal with everything I had was a bit of a wake-up call there, and I know I need to do things different, and I'm really glad to have that sort of knowledge now. So congratulations to Antlion, really good game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you did. I'm going to be trying to do a nice stream on Saturday with the 1 year since my first ever Moonbreaker video, so really, really excited for that. But most of all, thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.